Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? I want to rewind before we go down that path because I think it's really fascinating and it's held true in my life. But what were you doing to perpetuate it? Like, what were the things that were happening that were action items that you were ticking off in your day to day life to help induce or even have these moments in which it got worse?
Yeah, definitely just literally saying, I have credit, but I would talk about it all the time. I have it. And it was a real ownership, right? Like I was owning that I had it and not in a way of like, I have it and I'm ready to heal from it. I was like, I have it and it's holding me back.
Was it like
It's
a death sentence kind of conversation?
yeah, I feel like it was. And then again, the full moon, and I would talk to I'm divorced now, but at the time he was my husband, I'd be like, yeah, so every time the full moon comes, the spirochetes do this, and then there's herc reactions. And I would say it all. I would like tell the story, and then I would go through the exact story. And when I would talk to people, I would tell them all my symptoms. I just kept verbalizing everything.
Yeah, there's like a reinforcement in that, right? Because where attention goes, energy follows. And I think that applies to so many facets of life. I mean, in the same way that you can tear yourself down, you can build yourself up with that energy. And so as you're in this, and what I hear really probably more so than anything is just acknowledgement, but acknowledgement in a way that isn't about, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but this is what comes to my mind is acknowledgement without victimhood ultimately becomes a shifting point. Does that sound true for you?
Yes, definitely. And I feel like there's a balance between not being a victim and then also not like dismissing that it's happening to you, right? This like ability to say, okay, this is happening to me, but I want to experience something else.
Mm. Yeah, and in that, like, how did you come to terms with that? Because I think a lot of people listening will be in this place where physically, mentally, emotionally, they're dealing with something, right? And I had Dr. Caroline Leaf on, who is one of the world's most renowned experts in the human brain, and she goes, if you talk to yourself in a certain way, that will be your truth, that will be your reality. Something I reiterate all the time. But for you, like, what became the shift? Like, did you have was it like a rock bottom moment? Was you just looking at your life? Were you For me, it became I'm tired of my own shit, so I'm gonna try this other thing. But like, what happened for you?
It was that moment where I just realized that I was creating it through my voice. And then I literally said, no more. I'm not going to say I have it. I'm not going to speak about it anymore. And I literally said out loud, I'm going to heal myself. And my voice started to say to everybody, I'm healing myself. I'm healing myself. I'm healing myself. And so instead of I have all of these symptoms, I have all of this, I just shifted. And it was just one point where it was like a light bulb went off. I was just shown how I was creating and perpetuating it further. So as soon as I realized that, I owned it. I said, all right, that's what I'm doing. And now I'm going to do this. And I just started speaking out loud in a forward movement.
What happened after that? Because I think, there's obviously probably a gap in time between feeling like you should feel and that moment of decision. So what started to transpire? What was the journey to healing?
I mean, it definitely took time and effort. And I feel like one of our strongest, traits is our conviction of what we believe. And I've always had this ability to say, I'm going to do this. And when I say it to myself, like I won't say something to myself unless I'm going to do it. Because to me, I've never wanted to lie to myself. Like if I say I'm going to get up every day and work out, I won't say that to myself until I'm ready. And so as soon as I said that to myself, it was all about taking action in that direction. So I just started to, I mean, I honestly don't even completely remember everything I did, but I just was really open to what my intuition was driving me towards as far as taking action every single day. And there were a lot of days where I felt like I would take a step forward and then take 5 steps back. But I would again just reiterate to myself, I can do this because everything I've ever told myself I can do, I have done. And again, I have that. I've had it since I was a child. So I have that to lean on. And so I was always like, nope, I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Even if it takes, 10 years, which it didn't. But so it was about those tiny steps forward, tiny steps forward. And then there was a point where it's kind of like a snowball, going down the hillside. I always get that vision. I don't know why, where it starts to really double in size. And So there was a point that my body just hit where it started to feel a lot better. And then it just really shifted extravagantly.